Awesome. First of all, I wanted to thank you for your attention to the older daughter in the last session. That really cleared up something I had going on with my older son. My specific question, though, right now would be about a wellness or lack of wellness. I guess it's been 20 years ago that I just all of a sudden contracted a heart block and I had to have a heart pacemaker. And I've had maybe 6 of them to date. And though I'm grateful for the technology, and the technology keeps me alive right now, I think that whatever I did to attract that illness 20 years ago, and the teachings of Abraham, I should be able to think or feel my way out of this illness. And
you pretty much have, haven't you?
Well, except that I still feel dependent on the technology.
You're dependent upon food too.
Well, okay. Maybe it's not a bad thing.
Well, we're just pointing out that often when we say that you are the creator of your reality and that your body responds to the thoughts that you think, that is accurate. And everything that manifests is a reflection of what you've got going on vibrationally. But we also explain to you that the variety that you're living is what causes you to ask for and put into this vortex improvements. And so as species that are in a constant state of evolution, there's all kinds of exploration that is going on that is causing future generations and even current generation and even your own experience to be even more rewarding physically than it has ever been before. In other words, as a species, you are becoming more robust and you have more longevity there. In other words, things are improving in general and in specifics for your human body, and what you're exploring and asking for is all part of that. So sometimes as people listen to us talking about being the creator of your own experience and how we're encouraging you to be aware of your vibration, be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your emotions, people misunderstand and think that what we're saying is everything that benefits you must come from your mind and your mind only, when it is very clear that you live in an environment where manifestations go further and further and further. In other words, today we've been very deliberate about encouraging you to build this emotional foundation, to let the emotion be the first order of creation that you are wanting to achieve, to let the emotion be the manifestation. But we have not for a moment said, and then just leave it there. We always say, and then that grid, so to speak, that basis will fill in with the next logical step and the next logical step and the next logical step and the next logical step, to the degree that you will allow it. Our favorite story that relates to this is a woman who is a photographer who was doing underwater photography, who was wearing very thick glasses and feeling embarrassed that she wasn't able to just think her eyes into perfect 20/20 vision. And we said, we think if you're going to carry to an extreme, you're wanting to hold yourself apart from technology or from behavior or from action or from tools or from benefits, that you'll be at your kitchen counter today banging rocks together to make fire. In other words, evolution is evolution is evolution. And so we're not suggesting that your body can't come into full functioning alignment. We're just saying that in your thinking that you should be doing something better than you're doing it, you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot. And in your appreciation, and you said you do appreciate it, but in your appreciation, then you are adding benefit to your experience. And most of all, we want to soothe this sense that so many of you have that goes something like this, and it comes from your bogus belief that you've been sent here to prove some sort of worthiness. And so many people stand in this place where they're trying to perform even what they're learning from us in order to achieve a sort of recognition or a state of worthiness, when really what you're wanting to do is just co-create with the other co-creators and allow the universe to deliver to you through the path of least resistance whatever means gets you to the end result that you're seeking, remembering that the end result that you're always seeking is alignment with source and therefore joyful emotion.
Okay.
Well, let's break it down more specifically.
So I can appreciate the technology, but want, something different in the healing.
Before you go here, here's the step we want you to take. In other words, so let's say you achieve this expectation of recovery. And of course you did. And once you achieve that expectation of recovery, then a means to that expectation reveals itself to you. That's a really good thing. Now, as you appreciate that means that has presented itself to you, then another means comes, and another means comes, and another means comes. And in the process, you're getting more specific. In other words, there was a time when all you wanted was survival. There was a time when you didn't care how it came. You just wanted a stable, secure platform from which you could set forth your next intentions. And so that was provided for you. You found that. But now, have you heard us say, we say it all the time, that so here's the contrast, and you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and what you do want feels a little odd to you, and then you find a way to line up with it. And today we're saying emotionally line up with it. And then you achieve that vibrational balance, and then it fills in around it, and you receive the full-blown manifestation, but you also receive a new set of contrasting experiences from which to know what you don't want and know what you do want. And so you're going to constantly be seeking improvement. We just want you to feel more appreciation for where you stand in every moment than even your awareness that there is improvement to be achieved, because there's a backlash in that awareness of improvement to be achieved that keeps you aware that you haven't achieved it yet and slows it all down.
Okay.
Where in the appreciation, and then when you remind yourself how, in other words, specifically, how would you describe your current situation? If someone asked you for specifics about what's going on with you relative to this topic, what would you say? I have a pacemaker.
I have a device that keeps me alive. It works well. It's kind of a hassle to get it removed and replaced every so many years. But it keeps the heart beating, so I'm grateful for that.
All right. Well, so most of that is appreciation.
Yeah.
And it's softened already from where you were when you first sat down. But so be a little more specific. Keep telling us the specifics of that. Especially the part about it keeping you alive.
Oh.
That's really interesting to us. That's really interesting to us. The credit that you're giving it.
Well, okay, to be more specific, most mainstream doctors would say it's an irreversible situation, and you just, resign yourself to the fact that you'll always need a pacemaker.
All right, so that's really specific stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's specific, and that's what's really bugging you. Because somebody's told you that something's irreversible, and you just said to us that you believe that you are the creator of your own experience. So there's a contradiction that's going on in there. And so rather than wrestle with it, because you can't win, you want to go general. So take that conversation that you just offered to us and take it to a general place.
Well, sometimes... Well, I've read situations where this is reversible, so...
Now that's specific.
Oh, that's
specific, and it's trying to just take the specific that you don't want and move it into another place, and you're not going to get anywhere doing that.
Okay.
We want you to go general. Doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. People get locked into things that they've been witnessing. Okay. There's always something new to be discovered. I'm not setting out as a pioneer to need to take medicine into any new place, but I do know that there's so much more for us to all experience. And I think that their statements of this is always the way it is, even they would admit is not accurate, that nothing is always one way or another. And in any event, I don't really have a big dog in this fight. It doesn't really matter to me what the world at large believes about anything. I don't know why I'm making this a big issue that I'm making it. I'm thriving. I'm doing all right. I do believe in the concept of I'm good and getting better. I'm good and getting better. And I think that I can bear that out in many aspects of my life experience. And I like the idea of not taking the one area that somebody's convinced me that isn't true and making that a primary area, because I can feel how it knocks me up every time I focus there. And of course I want improvement and am getting it on all fronts in my life experience. Things are always working out for me.
Life is good.
Life is good. Life is good. And so now there's no resistance in your vibration because you made how you feel more important than leaving the contraption behind. So as you make how you feel more important, then you achieve vibrational alignment with source and now you're in a place that you can allow the specifics of what you want to reveal themselves to you. But you couldn't get there until you got general. You see what we're getting at?
Yes, I do. I do. All right. Thank you.
Very good.